Those of us living in the American South, and especially those of us in East Texas, can easily get the idea that the dominant form of Christianity worldwide is evangelical Christianity. And while it is certainly a force, it is not the dominant form of the faith worldwide. Roman Catholicism and the various strands of Eastern Orthodoxy together dwarf not only evangelical Christianity, but also mainline Protestantism as well. That doesn't mean evangelical Christianity is not large and influential. Indeed, evangelical Christianity's emphasis on evangelism has resulted in explosive growth in Asia, Africa, as well as Central and South America. So my question today is, what does evangelical Christianity bring to the larger Christian church that it is important and worthwhile? This question is part of my series, The Many Faces of Faith. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023. Returning to the old city of Jerusalem for a moment to illustrate my point, you will find there quite a large number of evangelical Christians on any given day. Their reasons for visiting, of course, are as varied as the number of people themselves, but in general, they come to walk in the footsteps of Jesus. Like their Catholic and Orthodox brothers and sisters, they are pilgrims. They've come for deeply emotional reasons, feeling that they can grow closer to God and deepen their faith by their proximity to the places Jesus walked. Evangelical Christianity is not without its faults, its weaknesses, and its blind spots, of course. But then again, every branch of the church has those. Yesterday, I pointed out some of mainline American Protestantism's weaknesses, along with its greatest strength, which is its engagement with the broader culture. To be sure, to speak of evangelical Christianity as broadly as we often do risks creating stereotypes, caricatures that oversimplify and distort reality. But there is enough truth in them that we can, with some caveats, do a pretty fair job of lifting up its strengths along with its weaknesses. Evangelical Christianity places a premium on personal discipleship. On the whole, a very good thing, and I will return to that in a moment. But in making personal discipleship the main thing, it sometimes, not always mind you, but sometimes falls into a few traps. In the first place, it can tend in the direction of being overly moralistic, legalistic, judgmental. They often have a strongly felt sense of what Christian discipleship demands, and those who do not agree with their beliefs can be unjustly condemned. It can also reduce the faith to personal piety, believing that the essence of faith is the relationship between me and Jesus. Not wrong, as much as it is skewed too far in one direction. It can also be quick to reject the claims of contemporary science, believing that anything that in their view contradicts the Bible at any point must be false. Our current and long-standing debates about the place of the teaching of evolution is a case in point. We mainline Protestants typically have no trouble incorporating the claims of modern science into our faith, but many, though by no means all, evangelicals often see science as a threat to faith. Finally, evangelical Christianity can often tend to see the world in apocalyptic terms, dividing the world into starkly different realms of darkness and light. And they usually feel pretty confident that they know who is in darkness and who is in the light. And of course, invariably, the forces of light just happen to coincide with their views. All of these things can be true of evangelical Christianity at its worst. But at its best, it reminds us of three important things. First, it reminds us of the importance of personal piety as an element of the faith. Sometimes, as mainline Protestants, we're tempted to reject anything that smacks of evangelicalism, and sometimes this includes rejecting an emphasis on personal piety. But this is important for us too. By personal piety, I mean a whole raft of things, including prayer, Bible study, and a moral code that guides us in our living. We may see each of these things a little differently from our evangelical sisters and brothers, but they are important nevertheless. Evangelical Christianity also reminds us that Christian faith is a matter of the heart and not only of the mind. At our worst, we can sometimes intellectualize the faith and shy away from an emotional engagement with it. And not without warrant. Emotions can be easily manipulated by hucksters who want to trick us into something. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't let our faith engage our emotions. Notice, for example, how you feel when we sing a favorite hymn of yours in worship. It engages your emotions in a very positive sense. Evangelicals remind us that this too is a part of a healthy life of faith. And finally, Evangelical Christianity reminds us that the Bible is our primary source for engaging our faith. It is our primary source for understanding who we are in relation to God and to one another. Just because there are elements within the broader realm of evangelical Christianity that see the Bible as inerrant, for example, does not mean we shouldn't give the Bible pride of place in our faith. And in fact, in our tradition, we do as well. We may read it with somewhat different lenses, but the Bible itself remains central to our faith. Evangelical Christianity, at its best, holds these things up for the whole church: the importance of personal piety, the role of the heart in our faith, and a high regard for Scripture. And we ought to recognize and celebrate their witness in all of these areas. Tomorrow, what about Roman Catholicism? But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.